It's been 2 months since I had my last drop of booze, and let me tell you, it's been quite the journey. One of the biggest changes that I've noticed is how selective I've become, especially for dating. You see, it used to be really normal just to always have a drink, have a drink at supper, have a drink when I go to the beach, or have a drink on the first date just to, I don't know, as part of the social experience. But now that I'm sober, things are just different. I'm seeing things from a whole new perspective. Recently, I had an eye-opening experience where I was dating a guy and things were going really well, and I prioritized him over spending time with my own family, which is a big deal for me. But then I decided to just be sober for the next couple months, and things completely changed. I realized that even though things seemed to be going well between us, that when I became sober, some of the things that I was aware of from the beginning, but just kind of summed it up to being part of being oh, he was high, or I was high, or we're just lazy because the drinks or whatever. I realized that actually no, it's just kind of how our personalities are together, that there really wasn't much spark. He never asked me any questions about myself, and so then I never felt like that he thought that I was interesting, and I would ask him a lot of questions, and he would answer them, but he would just never ask me questions back, and so this made a huge disconnect in our relationship. Yet it's so crazy that I went 3 months with this being how he is, and I never really picked up on it because we were always under the influence when we saw each other. And when I realized what was happening, and he just definitely, we're just definitely on two different pages. So I kind of wasted 3 months of my life with someone who isn't actually interested in me, or doesn't care to make me feel interested or want to connect with me. I also realized that at the beginning of a relationship, I was just excited to have someone to do things with, because it was so long since I had someone to date that they had time and space in their lives, because everybody's busy, everybody has a lot of things going on. And this person, whenever I asked him to do something, he always said yes, which was very attractive to me because it was fun to go and do things with him. But then I realized after several months that it was always me with the ideas to do things. And so then I kind of became less attracted to him because he never had any of his own passions or projects or things that he wanted to share with me, or kind of add something to our lives together. And I noticed that's a theme in my life, is that although I really like to do all my things, I have a million different passions, I also need to be going out with someone who has their own passions, because when someone's lit up, that's when I find them sexy. Reflecting on my past experiences, I realized that I've had beer goggles on so many times in my life, and I've just shared moments and my energy with so many people, so many men that I never would have if I was sober. And it's because energetically we're not connected. But when you're under the influence, senses are less. And so, for example, I'm a person who, my senses are very important to me, especially for romantic relationships, because I need to in the smell and the taste and the feeling of the person. And if you're masking the sensations, your five senses when you're taking some of these substances. But now, as sobriety is my guide, I see that booze masks more than just the appearance. It also masks the scent and energetics of the person that are important signals to somebody to know if you should be attracted to them or not. And also, I feel that when I'm drinking, and the things that sometimes come with that, I am being not my healthiest version of myself, a lower vibration, just frequency, and so therefore I will be less attractive to someone who is at a higher frequency or vibration, who is taking care of themselves and coming from a place of confidence, and they have the tools to know how to relax and have fun and treat themselves with respect without the need of substances. I definitely want to make it easier for the universe to energetically align me with the person that I want to be with. And I'm looking for someone who values their health and values their spiritual evolution. And drinking and drugs are really not they can be part of the journey, but they're not helping the goal. They don't raise your vibration. They're, like we know, drinking, for example, is a depressant. It depresses your system. It's hard on the body. It's hard on the liver. The liver has to detox it. And depending on the type of alcohol, for example, I am a firm believer that handmade artisanal things, artisanal food is better quality and made with love, and the energetics are better than mass-produced things. So, for example, having like a homemade beer, or a small local brewery beer that has water that doesn't have fluoride in it and everything is like better than mass-produced beer. Who knows what's in it? Actually, the ingredients, as well as like mezcal, for example. I live here in the coast of Oaxaca, and the mezcal for me, it does feel like medicine. I do feel like it's a high vibration. It is very strong medicine, so like having just a couple sips of it, you can really feel the effects already. I don't feel depressed after I have like one mezcal. The next day I don't feel the same effects as I do after drinking some other alcohol. So, I mean, everybody has their different opinions about this, but for me, it's like I'm not saying I'll never drink again, but if my goal right now, if I'm actually trying to be attractive to somebody who wants to start a family with someone who's healthy and confident and has the tools to manage her emotions and knows how to relax her system and knows, just like doesn't need a vice or a crutch, then I want to like be strong without using these vices and crutches and be in my integrity until like maybe I meet the person, and then maybe we can have some drinks and relax one day, because you don't always have to be so serious and like always in your complete 100% power, especially. But I feel like these last days or these last months, there are some huge shifts happening within me. I also am doing lots of things that are working towards becoming my higher version of myself, but just sticking to it where you're not kind of relaxing to a point where maybe like you have some drinks, but then you have the drinks and then your ambition's lower, and then you hook up with somebody who's a lower frequency, so then you have to clear all that lower frequency energy from you, and then maybe you eat some shitty food that has lower frequency and you have to get that out of you, and then maybe there's just like all these things that come along with like making one choice can lead to another choice, and then that can set you back several days, or for me, I feel like it sets me back several days to reset into, again, creating like a good system, catching up on my sleep, because alcohol affects my sleep, and all these things. I think that right now my body is just naturally rejecting certain, like for example, like fake food. I just don't have any desire for fake food right now. And I think that I'm not attracted to certain type of men that are choosing lots of fake food and violent programming and playing video games and just like disconnecting from the natural world and more connecting to like this like robotic world or fake world. And as a natural person, I'm connected more to a natural person. Previous experiences that I feel better when I'm with someone who likes high prana food, like real food and stuff. So is that something that anybody also realizes, that even though someone might be physically attractive, they and like a nice and smart and have a house and have the perfect life that they want you to join, you just can't be energetically attracted to them because of their life choices, because they are what they consume, and what they consume is not real. or it's not natural, and so therefore they're kind of like, they're just not on the same level as you consciously. Because that's what's happening for me, is like I keep meeting really great people, but we're just on different pages because we have different lifestyles, and that's fine. But yeah, just wondering how everybody else is out there thinking about this stuff.